Y'all know what time it is. Back with another one. Now y'all know I like old Cotton's Bullet, my favorite dog. You know, everybody got their favorites. Red Boy, Jocko, Bolio, Chinaman, Jeep, whatever, People got their favorites. A lot more dogs than that is people's favorites. Like I said, mine's just Cotton Bullet. The females, Molly B. Done videos of them. Y'all check them out at y'all own leisure. I ain't getting no credit for them. They done past the year mark. But like I said, it's the information channel. Some of this stuff true. Some of this stuff ain't true. Then we got female Molly B. You know, that's my favorite female. So, but I just want to talk about maybe a second favorite male of classic blood that I know really working, and I know that's really gonna make people happy in bulldog and blood is Trahan's Rascal. Good looking dog, good looking 50, 60 pound dog, nice little mouth, nice little head. See the white chest and the white on through the face. That's a nice normal marking that dogs throw. My dog's throwing a lot of that old blood throw. This is some real working blood. Oh, Trahan's Rascal. Like I said, some of this stuff may be true, may not be true. Entertainment, educational uses only. Got the little white socks. Nice build on the dog. Nice tank build. I call it that tank build when it's kind of built like that and ain't long legged and stuff and slinky looking. He's more of a tank build. All of them can get the job done. Just depends on what they can do with what they are. The heart in them. All right. So Trahan's Rascal is who we want to do this one on. And pretty impressive dog in the history. I don't think he's really known for being a super producer. He did produce, a bunch of dogs that was obviously good dogs. I don't know about him being super. But as you can see, Trahan's had some. Bougeot had plenty of dogs off of him. And then you see a Trahan Pete right there, country boy, champion. You know. Come off and Connie. Coming off the champion Rocky stuff. Corvino, Comics. And Corvino's a Victory Bob champion. So yeah. He produced pretty good. Maybe not super, but obviously people was feeding his blood. But what I like about the dog is this one of them dogs with a bunch of different names. Been seen about 430,000 times, so it's an impressive dog that people know about the blood. Yeah, the breeder was Joe Corvino. The owner was Trahan. Gaboon Trahan. 62 pounds, when they really working them, 57. And then you see Chevelle's Pimple. Chevelle's had them, And Hanson's Pimple, named him Pimple too. They kept the Pimple name. Then you see the Bougeot Rascal. So Bougeot had something to do with the dog too. And, he said something about the dog one time. He said everybody say Trahan's Rascal, but he had him first or had him one time or something. I don't know. But as you can see, the dog done changed hands a few times. Super dogs change hands sometimes like that. So one people have them, they do what they want to, breed with them, then they sell them, then somebody else sell them, and, that's how it be sometimes. Herbert's Bounce and Corvino Makeup. Them was the two dogs that made the Super Dog Grand Champion. Alright. So Herbert's Gip and Herbert's Lena, Corvino's Trump, and Corvino's McPhee IMP. And then we got the third generation. And then we got the fourth generation here. So y'all can read, y'all can rewind it back if y'all. But just for instance, what I like about the pedigree when you look at it, no lights, People look at that pedigree, man, it ain't got no lights. Think it ain't a bulldog. It's definitely still a bulldog. You got to know the names and the dogs, and maybe these people didn't report a lot or they didn't do a lot with them, but they knew they was good dogs, and still made a bulldog, made a super dog. And that's what you got to understand about this thing. It ain't all about the lights all the time. The bulldogs are the bulldogs. All right, so Hubbard's bounce, for instance. We seen him a couple of times already. Super dog too, really. Pedigree not really lit up. Coming down off the Tudors, Shipley stuff, them names. You gotta know them. Corvino stuff. And the Hubbards, who must have had some bulldogs too. He had Bounce, and Bounce was the father of the best American Pit Bull Terrier of all modern and old times, Daibo. Okay? So, you see Daibo right there. So when you talk about the rascal, you're talking about the same blood from Daibo. All they got the same daddy. See what I'm saying? They got different mamas, but they got the same daddy. So you're getting some of the same blood. You see Hensel's Arizona Pete. So Bounce done produced Daibo, one of the greatest dogs of all times in people's mind. Classic style. In people's pedigrees, you got Rascals, people's favorites. Trahan's Rascal, grand champion. Trahan's Rascal, that's people's favorite. Then you got Hensel's Arizona Pete, super dog. Little mate the Daibo, making sure you know that too. And he was a champion in his own right. Then you got Tudor's Little. He was a champion too. So, full sister to Daibo. So, yeah. And all these dogs' pedigrees are not lit up, and you didn't want to see them unless you had a bulldog. So, that's what I'm saying. You can't go off lights. A lot of people don't understand that. They see lights, they think that means that's better. There's no proof unless you have to see them compete together. There's no real proof that Champion Emick is better than Grand Champion Trahan's Rascal by looking at a pedigree. Maybe if you see a lot of ROMs and you see a lot of PORs, maybe you could say you can probably get some better dogs from breeding that dog. But to say that dog was better than that dog, yeah, you can't go off a pedigree. The dogs have to show you. But yeah, that's just to let you know that's Trahan's Rascal's daddy. And we're gonna go to Corvino's makeup. She's not even been seen 34,000 times, not even 35. But you can see, she come down off of some old Corvino stuff, some Tudor stuff, Williams stuff, and McPhee stuff, Anderson's. So, yeah. Williams Hobo, Williams Thunder, Corvino Menifee's Ginger, Corvino's Menifee IMP, and Corvino's Trump. So those are two dogs that made the dog, And that's the facts about that per information. Now, I know y'all want to say the dog won't bred like this or this or that. You always got some of them. Like I said, we're going off the information we got here. You won't dare to see it done, so you don't know how it really was done. So let's just do a quick breakdown. We see the mom and the daddy. We gave them the gave Trahan's Rascal, daddy and mama a shout out. We know how popular they are. I didn't really look at his mama, see if she produced anything, but I mean, yeah. Well, as you can see, Trahan Rascal is a ROM too, so might be some. There was Gaboon right there. He must have had Trahan's Rascal before too, or whatever. So, But yeah, I mean they got him as a Rom right here, so I guess he was a Rom too. You just don't see the producing. You just don't see people put his names in there. So maybe he produced a little better than I said. But anyway, like I said, it's one of my favorite. Herbert's Gimp, Herbert's Lena, Corvino's Trump, and Corvino McNeefy is the four quarters that's making up this super dog. So let's just glance at them before we end it. Herbert's Gimp. There go old Herbert's Gimp. Where's Herbert? UKC registered up there. Good looking dog. That's a quarter that's making Trahan's rascal. You can see that white chest. You can see that white through the nose. Pedigrees don't matter. Of course they do. You can see some of these pictures and tell this dog's coming off that stuff. It kind of looked like him a little bit. I'm gonna have to speed this up because it's gonna go out on me. Corvino's Tudor's Goldie and Gimp. Coming down off the Kaminsky's Jeff and Tudor's Blackjack Jr. So yeah, that's one quarter there. Let's look at Hubert's Lena. There go Lena right there. Hubert's Lena, the grandmother of the best American pit bull of all times, Tudor's Daibo. So you see Lena. Chicago Dolly. Coming off Corvino's Shorty and Chicago Dolly. That's the other quarter. Fighting Peter you got going in there. Tudor's blood, Williams blood. Lottie B. I don't like Russian. I'm gonna plug it up. It ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal. We gonna plug it up. Alright, Kaminsky's Jeff fighting Peter. Lottie B. Let's just see what Lottie B talking about. She come off a heavy Tudor's Blackjack blood. Coming in there on the 4th generation and twice on the 3rd generation. Heavy inbred off that. So if you was a Blackjack fan, Tudor's Blackjack, you got that Lottie B. That's what you got. And that's what Hubert's Lena got in him. You got to take the pedigree back to see it. But that's a Blackjack dog in the fighting Peter blood. Some good stuff. So that's just 50% of Grand Champion Rascal. So now you're starting to see why Grand Champion Rascal was a Grand Champion and how they produced Daibo and how they produced, see what I'm saying? That blood was really working if you knew what you was talking about and knew about the dogs and new stuff. So that's just the daddy coming off bounce. So let's check makeup a little bit. And we're going to end it right there. See the other 50%. Corvino's Trump and Corvino McNeefy. Alright. The bottom side coming off Corvino stuff and McClintock stuff. It's a little unknown there. You see Amish Lily. So, you know that's going to go back to some of that Amish stuff most likely. See, Grand Champion Tramp. It's going to go back to that. And the Ruber's Pilot. Webster's Joker. See these same dogs? Kobe's Pincher. So you see that Armage, you know it's going, you know he's going to have that dog coming in there. The Clark stuff right there. All his stuff. UKC. There go Cracker right there. We done showed him before a few times. Coming off the Kobe stuff and the Duffy stuff. And like I said, all this stuff tied back into it. So, you see Corvino's makeup got that good blood coming down in her. You got to take it back, but, you know, That's his mama. And let's see here. Trump coming down off the centipede blood. And the McClinton's Cochran's Jim. Let me see what he talking about. He coming off the Grand Champ Duffy Jack stuff. And the Renniken's Mike stuff. The Renniken stuff. See, he had some bulldogs. Cochran got his stuff from. So yeah. Cochran's Greenhorn. So yeah, it's got the centipede stuff in. I just did a video from. So that's what Corvino's Trump got in her. Classic old stuff. And last but not least, McNeefy. She got the Kaminskinskis Jeff in it too. Bruce's Jeff. They like that Jeff name. The cricket stuff, the Feely stuff. Coming down off the armored stuff you see again. So, yeah. Not a lit up pedigree, but if you take it back, you do a little homework, you can see where this stuff coming down from. Them 4 quarters right there. Hubbart's Gimp, Hubbart's Leany, Corvino's Trump, and Corvino McNeefy. That's the blood that is coming down from, coming off Hubert Bounce's, Dibo's daddy, and some other bulldogs' daddy, and Corvino's makeup. Made Trahan's Rascal, Super Dog, half brother to a lot of other super dogs because they got the same daddy, the daddy throwing that fire. Alright, so short and sweet. I'm getting a little faster with it because I know people ain't gonna watch them as long, but as long as it's information, it's information. I'll see y'all soon. Peace.